What's up, guys? Today looking at a 2002 Honda Odyssey. This is a 3.5 liter VTEC motor. Changing the crankshaft position sensor. Car runs fine for about 15 minutes and then just shuts off. Check the injectors and they're not noiting when the engine's hot. Previous owner tried changing the cam sensor, didn't do the trick. I bought the vehicle through a crankshaft position sensor code through the OBD2. Getting started, we're going to start taking these belts off. I already have the battery disconnected, it's jacked up. I got the passenger front wheel off and also the plastic shroud underneath. We're going to have to take both of these cam covers off, the lower plastic cover as well as the harmonic balancer, just to get behind that cover to change the sensor. This should be pretty much the same procedure on 99 through 2004 3.5s. Alright, getting started here. I got a deep well 12mm. I'm going to reach under here. There's 2 bolts, I believe, holding this power steering pump tight as well as the tensioner. Pop them both loose. Now that we got those loose, I can loosen up this tensioner bolt here, or tighten one of the two. And that pump will start to move. And we can take that first belt loose. We'll have to take the second belt off first. Or excuse me, second belt off. There she goes. Pop that belt loose and we'll jump onto the other one. Okay, we're down underneath the passenger wheel well. I've got the shroud removed, and you can see here we have the tensioner for the other belt, which is an automatic tensioner. Has this piston on it. I think this is an 18 or a 19, but if it's not new, these things are pretty easy to cheat. You can just pry right off the harmonic balancer there, slowly compress that piston, and it will push in. Loosen that belt up for you. See how that goes loose. There you go. Piece of cake. Alright, we jump back up top. I went ahead and took that bolt, the two 12mm, completely out of that power steering pump. That way we can just kind of move it around. We'll leave the lines hooked up, that way we don't get any power steering fluid anywhere or lose any. Gonna take this front cam cover off here. 5 10mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one inside of a little hole here. I know it's hard to see. There's a hole. Slide this wiring out of here. Take those 510s off. We're gonna do the same thing on the back side. There's a similar wiring and bolt pattern, and that will allow us to get access to that lower cover, and we'll have to take the balancer off prior to that. Alright, we got the 5 bolts out. I'm going to unhook this wire from this plastic clip here, what's left of it, and it should slide up. Yep. And we'll take that first cover out of there. Sneak it past that dipstick. And we have the first one off. Now we're going to do basically the same thing on the back side. I can shift that power steering pump a little bit if I need to. And then we can go ahead and I believe we're going to be taking that motor mount off, lifting the motor up with a piece of wood and a jack holding it in place, clearing this stuff out of the way to get this cover off. We might actually be able to get the cover off without moving the mount. Not sure yet. We'll find out. Alright guys, we got that back cover off as well. It was the same exact pattern, 5 bolts, and there was a wire that you had to release from there. Take that cover off. Now what we're going to do is go back downstairs and we're going to break that harmonic balancer or engine dampener pulley loose so that we can remove the pulley and remove that lower cover to hopefully access that crank sensor. Alright guys, we're back downstairs here on the crank. There is a special tool that you can buy to hold that crank steady while you break that bolt loose. You can also put an impact gun on it and give that a shot. However, what I'm going to do here is the old school method where you put the breaker bar onto the bolt and you put the other end up against something very solid like this control arm. Now I've got about a ½ inch of play here. I move that pulley to where it's just gonna get turning and smack that. This crank pulley turns clockwise. I've already videoed it. And so what's gonna happen is it's gonna turn clockwise and it's gonna hold the bolt steady, which is gonna break it loose. I disconnected all 6 of my injectors, my ignition coils, so that the car wouldn't start, and I have reconnected my battery. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the driver's seat and bump the key. We should hear a loud bang and hopefully that bolt will break loose. Okay, our bolt is loose. Easy peasy. And that took about 2 minutes. That's why I do it that way and not any other usually. Alright, our bolt is out. You can reach up in here and hopefully this pulley here, unless yours is seized and rusty, you can kind of wiggle off. There is a key marker there, so you can't put it back on in the wrong place. Make sure that key stays in this groove right here. Now what that's done is give us access to these bolts here to remove this cover. We got 2 on the bottom. Looks like we got 1 conveniently placed right behind the dipstick tube, and a couple more up top. We're going to go ahead and take those out and get this lower timing cover off and find that crank sensor. Okay, we took 7 bolts out of this timing cover here, and we also took 1 bolt out of the dipstick tube so we could get behind it, which was right up here. So we pulled the dipstick tube out as well as the dipstick prior to that. 7 bolts. This cover should now come right out of here with maybe a little finessing. Let's see. Might try not to catch any electrical or anything. Might have to move the tensioner. There we go. And that appears to be our crank position sensor right there. So let's pull the new one out of the box, make sure we're set up the same. We're also going to check up here, make sure our cam gears aren't leaking from the back, make sure our crank seal back here isn't leaking. I do see some oil, so we're going to look into that, but let's get that sensor going. Alright, here on our crank sensor, here's our new one. We're going to take this 10mm out right here, which is going to give us access to the sensor, which is right there. We're going to pull the wiring out and unhook it from the harness above, and then put the new sensor into this bracket here and bolt the bracket back on. Okay, we took that 1 bolt out. You kind of got to wiggle this little guy a little bit to get him off of that pin there. And then he comes loose. We're going to unhook that sensor from right there. We're going to track this wiring up. There's a little slide there, and then it even goes up higher where the connection is. So go up top, disconnect that, hook your new one up, take this off here, put the new one on the new bracket, and then we're going to bolt it back in. Here's a shot of that wiring harness there up on top. It's only about 6 inches from that little black clip right there, so you can't miss it. Alright, we got our new crank sensor in place there. It was a little tricky fishing it around through all there and getting it hooked up top there. You see that blue electrical tape is the connector right above that. We got that tightened in. I have this 10mm here that we're going to lock into place. Make sure that that dowel pin right there is in the right position. Make sure your wires are tucked in the right spot. And our crank sensor, tighten up this 10, will be installed. Then from here, before you close everything up, obviously on this van here I got a VTEC solenoid leaking pretty bad, so I'm gonna go to the dealer and get the seal for that. It's just 2 10s. I'm gonna give everything a once over, make sure my timing belt looks good. I don't see really much oil coming down from the cam gears, so I'm assuming we had a power steering leak, being that it was low when I bought it. So I'm gonna change that VTEC solenoid off camera and go ahead and put this lower cover on. Put that harmonic balancer back on, upper covers, belts, battery, etc., etc. That is your crank position sensor replacement. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.